This is the 2018 Toyota Yaris, the 1.5 liter engine capacity, producing 111 PS. We're going to take a close look to the interior. First of all, the driving seat is very comfortable. The distance to the ceiling is very nice for even a tall driver and bilaterally passengers. I am literally 1.94 meters tall, and I have some 10 centimeters distance from the top of my head to the roof ceiling. The dash is composed by the necessary elements of the RPM counter, the rounds per minute counter, uplifting up to 8,000 RPM, where the red revs start by over 6,000. We have a speedometer that reaches up to 220 kilometers per hour, though the real speed achievability is around 185, 189 kilometers per hour. And we have the indicator for the gasoline tank. So the necessary elements of rounds per minute speed and tank gas capacity. We have an axial clock which is modulated, and an axial computer screen trip, kilometers covering, and the consumption of fuel. So few to basic elements on the dash of the Toyota Yaris. To the left side of the steering wheel, which contains an airbag, and also it has the connective buttons for the phone speaker, to take on the phone, to close the phone, to raise up the volume on the stereo system, to change the channels upwards, downwards. It's the mode. Leftwards we have the radiator tube ending, reaching up to the left of the dash. We have the adjustment buttons for the left and right mirrors, which are electrically adjusted. And we have the button, the resistance modulator for the lights straight or upclining or downclining, beams orientation. To the left up of the dash we have a depository space for a wallet, something, but it's not recommended to be used because an open door and a little, let's say, moving of the car would mean the fall down of the item that you will have deposed. To the door of the driver we have the actual locking pad for the left and right, for the doors of the car. We have the actual lock and unlock for the actual doors, and this is for the window immobilizer. It's the window lock. We have a small depository space for a key, something like that, and below we have a larger depository space for a file, for a dossier, for something as a paper oriented item, at least. Below to the dash we have the collision avoidance button. We have the fog lights, which are not imposed into this car, and we have the collision. This is the first button is the line derailment, that the car cautions you about losing your straight line on the white line of the road, and indicative light indicative line of the road, and this is the collision caution button that alarms you when you're going straight up to an obstacle for a collision. We have the pedals. The left one is for the debrayage. The central one is the brake, and the right one is the gauge, the accelerator. We have the radiator's main tubes at the center of the console, the alarm button, the indicator of the airbags, front and back passengers and driver. We have the single stereo system on this car with the CD deposition, the radio, the buttons of the channels and so on. This is for the actual phone activation, opening, closing, the channels leftwards, rightwards, for the CD, for the USB. This is a USB gate, as I will open it for you. And we continue with the radiator directives to the main positions on the driver, to the feet, on the windows, etc. This is the fusing of the air speed from 0 to 4. Bilaterally, this is the air condition button. When it's engaged, you have air condition capacity. And this is the modulator of cold and warm to the radiator operation. And this is the button that by operation warms the rear window out of fog and moisture in the car. Bilaterally, we have a position for a plug-in electric cable that is adjustable for the camera phone or anything else as utility. I think it's also for an actual smoking charger, if I'm not mistaken. This is the depositor space where I have here my camera phone and my wallet. 2 cups deposition space. We used to have here the gate opening to the parking. This is the actual gear leverage, which has the reverse left up with uplifting this rod here. It has 6 speeds, the 1.5 liters version, and I think the 1 liter version also has 6 speeds. We have the cross to protect us. We have the ESP button to be disabled or enabled. We have the handbrake. To the right formation we have bilaterally the air infusers, to the left, to the right and to the left. We have a depository space, we have a draw, which is quite normal for the car, for the volume of the car. You can have your license, your papers, adjustable items, glasses, whatever. Below to the co-driver's passenger down space, we have the rod of locking to the steering wheel lock rod, and a little to the backwards. We have an axial, again, a cap-sized depository space for any utility. If we visit the rear space of the vehicle, we can see that we have a conventional back seat, realizing the positions of the headrests: to the left rear passenger, to the central rear passenger, and to the right rear passenger. We have seat belts for all of them, to the left and to the right. And we also have the actual locking enablers of the seat belts. And here it is the unlocking button, leverage button, for the seats to fall down. They're removable. And below, behind the headrests, we have an actual plain, straight plain depository space. Let us check the actual comfort of the rear space, of the rear seats. There is still margin to the ceiling for even a tall passenger, and it's a very comfortable overall car. There are some depository spaces to the rear doors, right and left, and we have the speakers for the rear drivers to enjoy music. For this particular car, the seats for the driver and the co-driver have this adjustment. They are modulated by this button here, upwards and downwards. And it's a very utility car, and fun. It's a very utilized car. It has great accessories for a very low price. This particular vehicle, which is the 1.5 liter without the camera installation, had arranged us a money amount of 12,700 euros, which is one of the cheapest price for a small car, bilaterally for a Toyota Yaris. And so another notification is that the rear doors for the windows operations, they possess manual leverage, circular leverage movements. They're not electrically operated. And so this is the overall information. This is the central seat belt for the central passenger to the rear. We have actual hand holders for all elements of driver and passengers. And another point is that the roof, which is an actual element of plastic and cloth, a modulated plastic, can never fall down. In vehicles of German production factories, even to Audis, especially to Volkswagens, Mercedes, BMWs, you can see that the sky is falling. The roof is descending. So it cannot happen to the Toyota Yaris and bilaterally to the Japanese cars. So this is an overview of the interior spaces of the 2000 Toyota Yaris, and I hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you very much.